All right, this is the Unit 2 study guide, Unit 2 exam study guide. I want to go through the 4 questions this week and kind of help you to understand what it is that I'm looking for in the exam, okay? Before I get started, the last exam was good. I just think that some of you aren't spending the time that you need to in really working on those exam questions. I really am looking for 3 paragraphs, 1 explaining the context, 2 answering the question and why those are important, and 3 adding some significance, asking the question, why is this important? Why do I need to know this? In maybe that 3rd paragraph. That's why there's 90 minutes. I think that the best way to go about it is doing it that way. You can do it a different way, but I'm looking for the most information possible, which is why I give you open book, open note exams, okay? So if you would do that, I think that you'd all do way better. Generally what happens is that people don't do well on the first exam and then do better on the next 3 because they know what I'm looking for. So we'll kind of get started here. The first question is provide 3 aspects of Etruscan culture that led to the rise of the Roman Republic. And I gave these to you in a video last week, but I'm just going to go over them again. We've got government, which is self-governing, fortified city-states, and agrarian aristocracy. Okay, this is a piece that I would try and flesh out, this idea of government. The Etruscan society is really built around this idea of government and self-governing and fortified city-states. Okay, obviously an agrarian aristocracy means that we have these wealthy landowners who are farming that land. Okay, the second aspect would be religion. It's polytheistic, it's ritualistic, and it's influenced by the Greeks. This is what's going to meld Roman and Greek culture together, which makes the empire grow, or the republic at this point, grow a lot larger because people understand this idea of gods and being ritualistic and doing those things. And they actually encapsulate some of the Greek gods as well. And so you start to get this like, well, was this a Roman god or was this a Greek god? And they're kind of melded together. It makes it easier to combine, right? And then third, women. They start to appear in public. They're literate. They took part in athletic contests and depictions of husbands and wives. Now, when I'm asking a question like this, I would suggest not doing a bulleted answer, but explaining these pieces out, explaining why those are important, explain the context behind it and what happened there. Okay, and so that's what I would suggest doing, the 3 aspects of Etruscan culture that led to the rise of the Roman Republic and provide their significance, right? Explain how these changed under Roman rule. Roman slums, okay? This one is a little more difficult, but I think that it's easy enough to get. Really what we want to talk about here is that the Roman slums were a dirty, dirty place. People were living in really tight quarters, a lot of people to an apartment. It was loud, not a lot of sleep. There was death. It was unsanitary. So 3 aspects of Roman slums and how they affected the poor who lived there. Look, I'm tight quarters, filthy. It's loud. There's lots of dogs. There's children running around. If I were trying to answer this question, it affected the poor in that they couldn't, they weren't great at their jobs. When they did get to work, which this is not great if you're living in the slums, usually you're waiting outside, waiting for somebody to hire you to go and work. And so that makes it difficult. There's death, obviously, because it's unsanitary. You're not getting to bathe regularly. There's a lot of sickness. Okay, these are the things that I would try to bring up if I was talking about that. Okay. The rise of Christianity around the Mediterranean marks a major point. This is a watershed moment, right? Christianity is a watershed moment in our history, in global history. And so we need to understand really its appeal. And its appeal is to the urban poor, the rural farmers, and uneducated. Really very few wealthy people joined Christianity in the beginning. And then there was this idea of participation in the community. Okay, the appeal of Christianity is spiritual equality, warmth, and human appeal. and wealthy looking out for the poor. So these are the things that I would talk about in this question, and I would try to flesh out what those mean and why that's important. Okay. Lastly, the transition from Roman Republic to Roman Empire. You get a Roman emperor who takes control of the entire Mediterranean Sea. That creates growth and prosperity, and everyone becomes Roman rather than tribes. This is done through the Roman army, which goes out to the periphery in the western, especially in the western frontier, and they start to create families, which then helps the Roman Republic to grow as everybody has this pride of being Roman. Okay, and I would explain how that unifies the Roman Empire. Okay, those are the 4 questions to the midterm. I hope that you're able to maybe flesh some of that out, be able to explain some of these things. If you have any questions, please email me, call, stop by my office. I'm more than happy to help you through some of these questions. If you have any questions, please reach out. Have a great week. Good luck on the midterm, and I'll catch you next week. Bye.